how would one set up being a basketball trainer that travels? Same thing I said with Spencer. If you're good and you market yourself, they'll ask you to come train them in another city, another country. So it's not something that you manipulate. You can't, hey, how do I go train? No, if you're good, all right, get yourself out there and they'll find you. So number one, I would say you got to get yourself out there. How's your social media? Do you do cold calls? You know, it's how I started, and I still do this. You walk into a gym, you find a decision maker, an AD, a coach, a parent, a mature kid. Hey, do you value basketball training? I'm a basketball coach. I'm a professional player development coach. Would you like to work out with me? I'd love to work out your team. I watch them. I see you do this, and well, I can enhance that. Here's some things that you might want to think about, but you have to go out and you have to sell yourself. So, you have to pick which geographic location do you want to travel to. I would say be the best in your city and then try to travel within the state. Be the best in your state. And when I say the best in this industry is do your best. Do a great job in your state. Do a great job in your city. And then maybe look to bordering states. That's what I did. I started training, did a good job with the Boo Williams kids, and I was invited to speak at 5-Star Camp in Radford. I ran Station 13 at Radford. It was a 5-star camp, 500 players. I spoke the last night, did a camp talk, got a standing ovation. College coaches were there. High school coaches were there. Hey, man, we like what you did in that hour. Can you fly to our state and do that with our team for 2 days? Yeah. What's your budget for that? I don't know, Ganon. What do you charge? $1,000 a day. Done. Is that all you charge? No, let me think about it. I got to go back. Maybe I'll misquote it, but I mean, that's how I did it, man. But you have to be ready for the opportunity to train. If you're not ready, all right, it's not going to come. So prepare now to know everything about the game. All right. I started out training guards. I became better at training forwards, and I made sure I knew how to train fives. I started out, knowing the 3-out, 2-in offense. I studied the 4-out, 1-in offense. Then I studied the NBA game, right? The dribble drive, the read and reacts, quick hitters, late shot clock plays, early shot clock plays, actions in fast break. I never really touched defense because I couldn't cover everything. And I always felt, defense, I can leave that up to their team coaches. I don't have enough time to be a master in defense. I'll know defense from the defensive coverages. So I studied defensive coverages, but I mastered the offensive counters. That's what I really sunk my teeth into. There's not a defensive question out there that I don't have an answer for. And if I don't know it, you better be darn sure I'm going to go that night and ask Siri, ask Google, call my mentors. Hey, man, what do you do off of, triangle and 2 when they're blitzing the ball screen out of that? So it's something that, I knew what I wanted to teach, and to be able to work and travel and train everybody's team, everybody's player, I made sure I had a lot of information in my toolbox so that when I had a gig or a lead or an event, it was always custom made. I didn't bring Ganon Baker's system, which I'm telling you, I'm not going to kill anybody, but there's a lot of skilled coaches, trainers out there, and that's what they are. They're trainers that train a system. All right, I encourage you guys to have a philosophy on basketball. So if you went to Canada, right, y'all are speaking the same language. It's the basketball system. It's not your system. It's your philosophy. It's your charisma. It's your personality. But you got to learn how to teach players jump stop and 1-2 step. You got to learn how to teach players to pivot off the right foot and left foot. You got to teach players how to catch with 2 hands and 1 hand. You got to teach players how to play off a 2-guard front and a 1-guard front. You got to teach players how to post up in a pro post set and a high school post set. You got to teach players how to reverse pivot and outside. Like you, it's not like, hey, this is my way. No, if you want to make a lot of revenue and you want to be supported by everybody, you have to adjust and adapt and learn how to fit in their system and be like a liaison and a subcontractor and an assistant coach for that month, that, that day, that year. That's what I have done. And so I'm not contradicting, right, that coach. I'm complimenting that coach. And so when I have an open mind and I'm not stubborn and I'm not trying to convince coach, you're wrong. Because a lot of times I'll go in and that coach is probably not doing something that I like. So I don't confront him with criticism. I confront him with kindness. And I, ask, what do you think about this? Coach, I'm going to do this. It's not wrong what you're doing, but take a look at this and see what you think. And I teach it with such efficiency and passion and conviction that he's like, man, I learned something today. I've been teaching for 40 years. The best compliment I got in Vegas was a guy from Stanford. He'd been coaching for 40 years. He was at the clinic, and I taught him 5, 6, 7 things he said, to the point where he had to write it down because he couldn't really get it when I was demonstrating it. Now, I was probably going too quick. I only have 45 minutes. But he was like, no, you stretched my mind. You made me think about things that I haven't really thought about. And so to me, that's a compliment, because this guy's been teaching 40 years. He knows the game. He's at Stanford. But yet I was able to do some player development drills to get his mind stretching and thinking. And so how do you travel? You got to be great, man. You got to be great, and you got to be ready to teach at a high level. And then, like I told with the college player, it comes down to marketing, man. You got to put yourself out there. So social media, videos, YouTube, cold calls. Hey, coach, I see you're in Iowa. I'd like to travel. I heard about your, program. What do you think about having me in? So no question you do that. But again, I really think if you're good and people see you, let your dream be known, and people will help you with that.